जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा, पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा। जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज, नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय बालदेवा जय सुभद्रा देवी। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ब्रह्मा मध्व गौड़ी आचार्य वृंद की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवदीप धाम की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 16, entitled Jaya and Vijaya Cursed by the Sages, Text 32. Dvāḥ-sthau ādiśya bhagavān. Dvāḥ-sthau ādiśya bhagavān. Vimāna-śreṇi-bhūṣaṇam. Vimāna-śreṇi-bhūṣaṇam. sarva-atiśayayā lakṣmyā. juṣṭaṁ svam dhiṣṇyam āviśat. dvāḥsthāv ādiśya bhagavān. vimāna-śreṇi-bhūṣaṇam. sarva-atiśayayā lakṣmyā. juṣṭaṁ svam dhiṣṇyam āviśat. dvāḥsthāv ādiśya bhagavān. vimāna-śreṇi-bhūṣaṇam. sarva-atiśayayā lakṣmyā. juṣṭaṁ svam dhiṣṇyam āviśat. dvāḥsthāv to the doorkeepers. ādiśya, just directing them. Bhagavān, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. vimāna-śreṇi-bhūṣaṇam, always decorated with first-class airplanes. sarva-atiśayayā, in every aspect, in every respect, extensively opulent. lakṣmyā, opulences. juṣṭaṁ, bedecked with. svam, his own. dhiṣṇyam, abode. āviśat, went back. Translation, please repeat. After thus speaking, at the door of Vaikuṇṭha, the Lord returned to his abode, where there are many celestial airplanes and all-surpassing wealth and splendor. Purport. It is clear from this verse that all the incidents took place at the entrance of Vaikuṇṭha. In other words, the sages were not actually within Vaikuṇṭhaloka, but were at the gate. It could be asked, how could they return to the material world if they entered Vaikuṇṭhaloka? But factually, they did not enter, and therefore they returned. There are many similar incidents where great yogis and brahmanas, by dint of their yoga practice, have gone from the material world to Vaikuṇṭhaloka. But they were not meant to stay there. They came back. It is also confirmed here that the Lord was surrounded by many Vaikuṇṭha airplanes. Vaikuṇṭhaloka is described here as having splendid opulence, far surpassing the splendor of this material world. All other living creatures, including the demigods, are born of Brahma, and Brahma is born of Lord Vishnu. Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Lord Vishnu is the origin of all manifestations in the material world. Those who know that Lord Vishnu is the origin of everything, who are conversant with the process of creation, and who understand that Vishnu or Krishna is the most worshipable object of all living entities, engage themselves in Vishnu worship as Vaishnavas. The Vedic hymns also confirm this. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. The goal of life is to understand Vishnu. The Bhagavatam also confirms this elsewhere. Foolish people, not knowing that Vishnu is the supreme worshipable object, create so many worshipable objects in this material world, and therefore they fall down. Translation again. Thus, after speaking at the door of Vaikuṇṭha, the Lord returned to his abode, where there are many celestial airplanes and all surpassing wealth and splendor. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavati Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataro Bhescha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this basically is like the end of the chapter. After this, it's just that the doorkeepers, they lose their body luster and they fall into the material world. And all the demigods are shocked like that. So it's just the closure. So I thought that it could be a good revision for us if we could just look at the main characters who were part of this beautiful pastime. And if we could see what lessons we can learn by the interaction between these beautiful characters presented in the pastime. So, the first set of characters are the 4 Kumaras. They are liberated, and they are in the form of children, and children are allowed to go anywhere and everywhere. It's described in Bhagavatam. Prabhupada says, of the 4 types of people who approach God, there is a group of people called the inquisitive. They ask questions about everything. So the Kumaras belong to that category. And when you are a child, naturally you have so many questions, and you go around everywhere. You know, that is how children operate. You cannot stop them from moving around. They have to explore. So here are these 4 Kumaras. They are the oldest, wisest, and still they are inquisitive. They are going around exploring. And they reach the entrance of Vaikuṇṭha Puri. 6 doors they have crossed. Now they are at the 7th door. And they are never stopped anywhere. Nobody stops children from entering anywhere. Like sometimes when we are invited for Graha Pravesh of somebody's house, and we want to know how their house looks, and we are too shy to ask, all we have to do is like unleash a child, you know, and the child will go everywhere, and all you have to do is just follow them, you know, and nobody will say anything, you know. Oh, okay, child, you know, is going into every room, seeing every place. So they are used to it. They are used to being welcome anywhere they go. And they were quite shocked when they were blocked at the 7th gate by the 2 Dwarapalas, Jaya and Vijaya. And they are already very impressed because they were monists. They are impersonalists. You know, everything is one. Spiritual world means no variety. So as they were coming through the different gates, they were seeing flowers, bumblebees, and all kind of Dwarapalas, other associates. They were seeing how so much of rasa, so much of variety is there. Shanta rasa, you know, flowers, trees, bumblebees, 2 associates, servants, you know, all kind of rasas they were seeing. And it was astonishing for them. You know, it was already shaking their core idea of impersonalism. And they felt very offended that they were not allowed to explore further and actually meet with the Lord. And they felt these 2 people don't belong here, so they should be cursed. These 2 people who think that there is somebody better who deserves to enter, and there is someone who doesn't deserve to enter, yours and mine, you know, people who have the discriminative nature, they don't belong to the spiritual world. In spiritual world, everybody is cooperating. You know, all the flowers cooperate and allow Tulasi to serve Krishna. You know, everywhere there is cooperation. The mood is not, shall I do better than you? You know, the mood is, how can I help you do better? How can I help you do your service better? So they felt that these 2 gatekeepers somehow have no qualification to be there, so they have to be kicked out. And as soon as the doorkeepers realized that they are being cursed to be sent out of their service from the spiritual world, immediately they apologized. Immediately they said sorry. Oh, we are very sorry, please forgive us, and we deserve any punishment you give, we deserve. So if you think we should go to hell, all right, so be it, we will go to hell. But only one request. And what is that one request? Wherever we may go, may we never forget the lotus feet of our Lord. Please give us. You're powerful enough to curse, so you're powerful enough to bless. So please give us the blessing that we will never forget the Lord. We will never, wherever we may be, we will never forget the Lord. So, and that's it. Curse, the Kumara's curse. One verse is saying the Dwarapalas pray. Immediately next verse Vishnu comes. Immediately, there is no in between something else happening. The minute Vishnu realized that my devotees are feeling uncomfortable, they are feeling some fear that something bad will happen to them, immediately Vishnu comes. And when they see the beautiful form of Vishnu, there is Vaikuṇṭha breeze, and the breeze, it mixed with the tulasi and chandan at the lotus feet of the Lord. It enters the nostrils of the Kumaras, and it changes, Saṅkṣobha akshara juṣṭaṁ. Saṅkṣobha means not just change, like create agitation. It like, something drastic is happening inside their heart. And what is happening? Akshara juṣṭaṁ, their impersonal realization is changing. It is changed. They understand that God is not just by the smell of tulasi offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. They are able to understand that Lord is not just light. Lord is not just impersonal. He is personal. He is a person. And there is a beautiful description of the Lord, and a whole variety is there again. In the description, a whole variety is there. Usually Krishna wears makara kundala. This jewelry set is like shark kind of thing, and this time he was wearing alligator, and he had Lakshmi. Lakshmi is like the topmost rasa available. So they saw all lower rasas, and now they get to see also Mother Lakshmi, even the conjugal love. So they get a whole spectrum of variegatedness of the spiritual world, and they are telling Krishna, they are glorifying Krishna. Our Father has told us all these things to us. Lord Brahma has told us all this about your beautiful form, about Vaikuṇṭha. But somehow their realization was only on the impersonal level. But now we can verify, we can attest that whatever our Father has explained about the spiritual world, about you, it's all accurate. So they glorify the Lord, they thank him for the darshan. We are not qualified, we are monists, we are not qualified, but you are so kind that you gave us darshan, thank you. And that's the end of that previous chapter. And now the story begins. Krishna says, oh, very nice, wonderful. He acknowledges their prayer, and then Krishna tells, I am talking on behalf of my servants. And they have done great offense, and I approve the punishment that you have given them. And on their behalf, I am begging forgiveness to you. And the blame is on me, that I didn't train them, that they have become like a white spot of leper. They've become like a white spot of leper on a spotless skin. And if any part of my body were to offend you, I would even cut my own part of I will cut my arm. If you would find my arm offensive, I would cut my arm. That is how much I respect. That is how much I respect devotees. And my feet are considered sacred because I serve my devotees. All my glories are coming because I serve. Even Lakshmi Devi, my Srivatsa, everything is simply because I serve my devotees. And I take the dust of the devotees on my head. And my servants, they did wrong. They should not have been angry. One should not get angry with another devotee. Even if that devotee is harsh, one cannot be angry. And they were just being angry with you and blocking you, So that is not nice. And after Krishna tells all these things, after Lord Vishnu glorifies the Kumaras, apologizes to them, and Says, even my own body, any part you find offensive, I will cut off my arm. If you think my arm is offensive, I will even give up my. That much he showed respect and love. And in the end, Krishna only requested one thing. May they return to my presence very soon. May these devotees, they did so many wrong things. I'm fully acknowledging. So after that, I'm asking you, kindly allow them to come back to me very soon. So why did Krishna do that? Krishna says, sadhuvo hridayam mahyam, sadhunam hridayam tvaham. Mad anyat tena janati, naham tebhyo managapi. In my heart, the devotees live. And in the devotee's heart, I stay. They don't know anybody but me, and I don't know anybody but them. That much of very deep love and affection Krishna has for his devotees. So the first lesson the Kumaras learned is their understanding of impersonalism is incomplete. Yeah? God is personal. And another very, very earth-shattering lesson is what kind of love these devotees are experiencing by being servants of the Lord. That the Lord personally comes. Not even one verse gap is there. The minute he sees that the devotees are in some distress, immediately he appears in the scene. And with Lakshmi Devi. And he is requesting them to not separate his servants from him. So that is the kind of love one experiences when one becomes a personalist. And this is way more intense than the bliss one may experience when he is experiencing Brahmananda in the Brahma Jyoti, some kind of, you're merged, you're one with the Lord, the pleasure obtained by the relationship between the pleasure obtained by a devotee because of his relationship with the Lord is infinitely more than all the other kind of pleasures, including pleasure of being in Brahmananda. So it's a very intense pleasure. So they realized, actually that's the way to go. We should become devotees. And they did. They started the whole parampara under whatever they learned from Brahma. They started the Kumara parampara to propagate this personalism. So they are the first people in the scene. And then we have Lakshmi Devi. So Lakshmi Devi, she is mentioned just I think in yesterday's verse. She had predicted, she had foretold. So she was she had gone somewhere. She is coming back to the Lord, and the two Dwarapalas did exactly the same. The Lord is in Yoga Nidra. Please don't disturb him now. Come later. And mothers, when the children do nonsense, they will chastise. So she predicted, if you're going to behave like this, mothers at least we all know, it's raining so much, road is so slippery. If you're going to jump and not walk properly, you're going to fall down and you're going to hit yourself. Don't come crying to me. So we are very expert in, and then when they fall down and cry and they come to us, we say, I told you so. I told you, mothers are the most I told you so kind of people. But they're not just there to say, I told you. What they do is also give the comfort, they give the guidance, they'll change you, they'll give you the medicine needed, and they'll comfort you. The magic kiss, all the mamas have the magic kiss. The magic kiss will make all the pain go away. So they're there always to guide the child. They're not just there to, I told you them. They're there to rectify, to uplift. So Mother Lakshmi, from her we can learn that lesson. Of course, in the past time she is coming along with Vishnu for showing the Kumaras that even conjugal love, even that level of variety exists in the spiritual world. So she is there to show that the spiritual world is intensely variegated. But when it comes to the perspective of the two Dwarapalas, she comes for, I told you so. Did I not tell you that if you keep blocking like this, you're going to get into trouble? Today is the day. And of course, she didn't just come there so that she can say, I told you so. She is there along with the person who's going to solve. She's going to make sure that they're comforted, their situation is rectified, and it was an accident. It was an accident. It was not an offense, it was an accident. So she's there with Vishnu, and the situation is going to be rectified, and everything is going to be eased out. Yeah. So she's there as a representation of a pure devotee. How do pure devotees deal with us? How does our spiritual master deal with us? Oh, please don't do this, please don't do that. This is not good for your spiritual life. No, you just go little bit, and then boom, something fall down. And then, Guru Maharaj, I'm so sorry. I told you so. And then he's not going to kick you out. He will give you the needed guidance. He will give you the needed comfort, the needed confidence to get you back in your path. So we see Mother Lakshmi as a representation of a pure devotee who instructs us, and even when we are not following those instructions, she's there to support, to guide, and to keep us in the path. And then we have Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu, how is he contributing to the pastime? He contributes in very interesting way. First of all, he says, I approve the punishment. So he came there running because he didn't want his devotees to suffer. But he started his conversation with the four Kumaras by the first statement he said is, I approve this punishment. So it looks like, what are you doing to me? I thought you're coming here running with the Lakshmi and all the Chamara and all these associates to protect. And now you're saying that I'm approving it. So what is happening there? Why is Vishnu approving it? In fact, the four Kumaras, when they see this immense love that Lord Vishnu has for the Dwarapalas, they're quite astonished. Every word that the Lord speaks is Veda, so obviously it's not something you can easily comprehend. So they say, actually it's quite bewildering, because what you're saying is I am not, I am only good because I serve devotees. Lakshmi is there because I have the dust of the devotees. And they say, no, actually, Lord, you are the Lord, and you are worshipped by the Brahmanas. It's not that you have to worship Brahmanas, you are worshipped by the Brahmanas. And Lakshmi, Devi and Srivatsa, they are all there because they are your servants. In spiritual world, where there is no dirt, where there is no dust, nothing, Lakshmi Devi, fully ornamented, with the broomstick, sweeping, making the cleanest place cleaner. Yeah, they're all here to serve. They're there to serve the Lord. So, and why do they serve? Because they love you. They are unconditionally surrendered to you. So, but we understand that we are in the mode of passion and ignorance. So that is the third lesson we get. Lord Vishnu, by some kind of reverse psychology, you could say, positive, healthy reverse psychology, he makes them realize that it wasn't right to have curse. Vishnu says it is not okay that you become angry with devotees. So it just hits them, we also became angry with devotees, Vishnu was talking about the Dwarapalas becoming angry with the Kumaras. But the words the Kumaras were able to take for themselves, we are also doing that. We are also becoming angry. And this is because of tamas and rajas. So they are apologizing. We are in tamas and rajas. Please bless us that we may come out of this rajoguna and tamoguna. And the lesson we learn from here is that just because one becomes liberated does not mean that one can overcome the three modes of material nature. Even if you become liberated, you can be captured by tamas and rajas. You can become angry in a very unfair way. So the only way that you can not become angry, you cannot become controlled by the gunas, is if you are like the Dwarapalas. They actually cursed. They were actually cursed by the Kumaras, but they did not do anything, you know. They only simply, humbly, whatever Vishnu was saying, even when a devotee is shouting at you and becoming angry, you should not become angry, you know. So they actually showed the Jaya Vijaya, the doorkeepers, they actually showed that quality. You know, they did not counter curse, they did not argue, they did not point out, you know what, you're monis, you're not supposed to be here. Nothing, you know, they just said, we are sorry, we didn't mean to offend you. Our job is to keep the door, you know, so we are just keeping it. If we have offended you in the process, kindly forgive. We accept your curse, you know, we accept whatever. So everything that Lord Vishnu was telling us wrong, it was reverse psychologically affecting the Kumaras. They were seeing, we are the ones who are doing all this wrong. We are the ones who are becoming angry. We are the ones who curse. We are the ones who thought that you could become angry with devotees. So, so it worked, you know, it works. And the lesson we learn is that in order to overcome the three modes, the only thing that actually will help is devotional service. Like how the doorkeepers were serving the Lord at the door. Similarly, only by doing devotional service we could overcome the three modes. So coming back to Lord Vishnu, he has accepted the punishment. The Kumaras have said, now the Kumaras said, whatever you decide is happening. You want to send us to hell, you want to send them to hell, whatever you are deciding is going to happen now. We see our mistakes, we are stepping back. But now whatever you decide is going to happen. So Vishnu might have simply said, all right, so let the boys be here. You know, he didn't do that. I accept, you go. So why did he accept? He accepted because he had this desire to fight. Lord Vishnu had the desire to fight. And why did he want to fight? Why does the Lord do any pastime at all? Fighting or dancing or stealing, whatever he does, why does he want to do it? To enjoy, and in the process to attract the conditioned souls. Yeah, so much of attraction. Anytime we show some kind of a superhero kind of thing, it's like super attractive, especially to the young minds, you know, like when I would visit my relatives who are not in Mayapur, I would be like amused by the level of attraction they have for all these superheroes. There is Iron Man, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and so many other, Superman, Batman, you know, every animal you can think of, there is some superhero like that. And what do you get by admiring these people? You know, what do we get? What can you get by being a fan of Ant-Man? You know, maybe some merch, maybe some kind of Halloween costume, some candies. You know, you never get anything by adoring this kind of superheroes. But if you adore Krishna in that way, then that adoration is purifying, that adoration is liberating. So Krishna comes to show all these superhero activities. And who are qualified to do that? Not those conditioned souls. Krishna can't fight with them. They are under the modes of material nature. Mama Maya, Duratyaya. Time is enough to take care of them. You know, they're not qualified. So he wants people who actually understand his desire and who will give him a good fight. So they were, Jaya and Vijaya, he could see, you know, very, very dutiful people. They will stop Lakshmi, they will stop the four Kumaras, very willing to serve the order of, you know, God gives some service, they will do it to perfection. You know? So he picks them up and he wants to do the fight with them. And what kind of fight is it? It's a superhero fight. interplanetary. They did not come with like some ordinary simple body. The body was like Vajra, made of thunderbolt, and they had all this Ashtasiddhi, Navanidhi, every kind of mystical potency they had. And what kind of, can you find a better villain than someone who actually takes the earth and pushes it into the ocean? What kind of super villain is he? And what kind of superhero? A boar man. He comes there, he lifts, he fights with this super villain who has stolen the Vedas, who has pushed the scriptures into the earth, into the ocean, fights, defeats him, puts things back in order, so like super admirable, like lion man is there, and boar man and fish man and every kind of man, and every pastime is far out, not just not just devotees. It's performed even to attract the intention, the mind of non-devotees, because that's something inherent in us. We always like to enjoy this kind of superhero pastimes. It's very entertaining. So Krishna is like, oh, now you're impressed with me. Come on, now let's go. That's what I was waiting for. Let's all go back to Godhead. So the lesson we can learn from the contributions of Lord Vishnu is that he wanted to, the Lord does anything to bring back the conditioned souls to him. And his devotees are very, very volunteering to help the Lord in the mission. They do whatever is needed. You want some villain? I'm coming. Ravana had the Navagrahas as his steps. He would stamp on their head as he climbs up to his throne, and Hiranyakashipu was actually scared of Lord Narsinghadev. Narsinghadev was so huge that he had to jump to hit the Lord with the mace and all that, but when you would go close up to hit the Lord, the ferocious form of the Lord was so scary that he will actually close his eyes, but let's swing it, because the Lord wants it, I'm going to give him the fight, So they all played very best role, very best possible, in the very best possible way to it. None of it was fake. None of it was done as an enactment. It was all done in the true sense of the word. You want to fight? I'm giving you fight. Shishupala, swearing at Krishna like non-stop. That's like, in fact, it was all prayers, it was all glorification. You put the words differently, it's all glorification. But he went all out, not just physically attacking, even verbal attack in public place, in front of everyone, So they were all out, you want this Lord? I'm giving you full on, I'll bring it full on. So the lesson we can learn from Lord Vishnu and his interaction with the Kumara, with the Dwarapalas is that he does his leelas to attract the conditioned souls with the support of, not support, and the servants oblige him in a very, very truthful way. And the fourth set of character are Jaya Vijaya, the doorkeepers themselves. And what do we learn from them? We learn from them that they are pure devotees. They are very happy to serve the Lord in any way. They were cursed. They never retaliated. And even Lord Vishnu, whom they thought like now is going to come and stop everything, when he said, okay, I'm approving it, you go. I am approving it. You go to the material world. They accepted it. They did not counter curse. They did not lament. They did not ask for any special favor. Nobody asks Lord. That is a very typical feature of pure devotee. Nobody asks any special favor. Bali Maharaj, Vishnu put his leg and sent, really? You're going to send me to hell now? Just sending me to, put your feet and sending me to hell. I'm your devotee. How could you do? No, Bali Maharaj didn't say that. Okay, you're sending me to hell. I'm going there and preaching. Vrittasur. Krishna told, kill that another pure devotee, take his bone, make it into a weapon and kill this pure devotee. Neither of them objected. They never said, how could you, Krishna, really? Is that what we deserve? None of them objected to the plans of the Lord. They accepted the will of the Lord unconditionally. Kunti Maharani, oh, they are all demons. Bali Maharaj, Vrittasur, okay, I am your aunt. Can you not save my son from the poisonous cake and the shellac palace? Can you not save my daughter-in-law from being disrobed? Never asked anything. What did she ask? Vipadaha santu tatsasvat tatra tatra jagat guru. May these calamities continuously come to me. One after another, please give me these calamities. Why? Bhavato darshanam yatsyad apunar bhava darshanam. When these calamities happen, that is when we have a very intense connection with Krishna. Chanting becomes very good, and we actually listen to Bhagavatam class nicely. Some solution, Krishna is telling something. Some of us like randomly open Bhagavad Gita or something and Krishna, what is the message you're trying to give me? The surrendering becomes so intense. The interactions become so much more sweet. So devotees are looking forward to this. Use me as your tool. How? Srila Prabhupada, 2 heart attacks? Really, Krishna? I'm going to preach. You want to give me 2 heart attacks? In the ship, nothing has even started. You already gave me 2 heart attacks. Put me with Mayavadi preachers. Put me with people who store meat in their fridge. Put me with people who take drugs. Never did he complain. I'm your puppet. I'm here, make me dance as you like, so that is the mood of devotees. So the lesson that we learn from the behavior of Jaya Vijaya is that the devotees, we should not ask any special favor to Lord. We should not try to counter curse. We should not try to lament. And our behavior will become an example. Our behavior should become an example that Krishna says, my devotees will never perish. Krishna will come to see us. Krishna will take care of us. We don't have to bother, my devotees will never perish. Krishna will prove that. By our behavior, Krishna becomes so obliged to take care of us. So these are, running through the story, we are here in the end part. Today's verse, Srila Prabhupada closes it with cherry on the top. Prabhupada says, who is qualified? The 4 Kumaras didn't go to the Vaikuṇṭhaloka. They did pradakshina of the Lord and they left. And the Lord left. And the Dwarapalas are falling down. Everybody, Lakshmi gone with the Lord. The pastime is just winding up here. Prabhupada says, in this purport, Prabhupada explains who is qualified, who is not qualified to enter. There are many similar incidents where great yogis and brahmanas, by dint of their yoga practice, have gone to the material world, from the material world to Vaikuṇṭha. But they were not meant to stay there. They came back. It is confirmed here that the Lord was surrounded. The Lord being surrounded by different airships and all is an example of his opulence, the variegatedness of spiritual world. And Prabhupada says that this class of people, great yogis, brahmanas who push themselves to some level, enter into the spiritual realm by the dint of their spiritual practice, they don't actually go into Vaikuṇṭhaloka. So who goes into Vaikuṇṭhaloka? Prabhupada quotes the verse, Aham sarvasya prabhava. The one who understands that Lord Krishna is the one who is the master of material world and spiritual world. So after understanding that, what does he do? That wise person engages in the service of the Lord with all his heart. He engages in service. So only that class of people are allowed to enter into Vaikuṇṭha. The other classes, even if they use some power and mystic power and push themselves up, they will get pushed back. by Jaya Vijaya. They will be cut off. They will be sent back. So to summarize, so today we saw the overview of the pastime. We looked at the 4 main characters, the Kumaras, Lakshmi Devi, Jaya Vijaya and Lord Vishnu, and we learned some lessons from their interactions in the pastime. We learned that personalism is superior to impersonalism. We learned that just being liberated is not enough to become free from the 3 gunas. We learned that a devotee never laments or counter curses or expects any special favor from the Lord. We learned that the Lord conducts these pastimes to attract the conditioned souls, and the devotees are happy to serve him in any capacity. And we learned that pure devotees like Mother Lakshmi, they're always there to tell us, I told you so, and then protect us and guide us in our spiritual path. And Srila Prabhupada in this verse gives the qualification of those who can enter the spiritual world, the ones who understand Krishna is the master of spiritual and material world and worship him by devotion, and who is not allowed to enter. People who by dint of their yogic mystic power try to elevate themselves, not allowed to enter because they don't have love. So, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments or questions? Otherwise, devotees can leave.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for a nice class. Mataji, we see Bhishma Dev also exchanged Veera-ras with the Lord. But in his verse, at a very climax point, he shows he is actually a devotee. He surrenders to the Lord when he is running with the wheel. So that kind of a display brings out a very, of course later on also further leelas happen between the Lord and, because Lord personally comes when he's on the bed of arrows. So Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha and all, they just fight until the end. There's no expression of a devotional flavor. So are they acting in a, are they conscious in their heart as a devotee, or they're in the Veera-ras, they're absorbed in that completely without the conscious desire to serve the Lord in that?
I think this is from yesterday's verse, or day before. Krishna told them that they can practice their bhakti with the anger. So they were not pretending to be fighting, they were truly angry with Lord. And I read in some article that it was progressive, the realization that they are the servants of the Lord became more and more in each of the pastimes. And you can see actually Shishupala, like he starts actually glorifying. And did they actually, when we look at the Leela of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have Jaya Vijaya appearing as Jagai and Madai. So, and they showed fully what they are, they obtained love of Godhead, and they expressed fully how they feel about the Lord. They showed full love for the Lord. So that was the bonus they got, the fifth opulence. Because of their cooperation with the Lord, they got prema when they came as Jaga and Madai, and they showed how they truly feel that they are devotees. They showed that when they came as Jaga and Madai. But it is progressive, towards the third birth, they were more aware. I read this, but I don't have like a scriptural reference. They became more aware, and every nasty word they were saying was actually a glorification. So they did like, externally I'm shouting at you, internally I'm your devotee, I'm glorifying you, like that. Is that making sense, Prabhu? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।